And now from McAllen City Hall, a meeting of the McAllen City Commission.
And good evening, everyone. Welcome to tonight's City Commission meeting. And it is so nice to have a packed room. Young ones, how y'all doing? Good. We'll begin with the Pledge of Allegiance, followed by invocation by Commissioner Joaquin Zamora.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
If we could remain standing and bow our heads for a moment. Heavenly Father, we come to you today asking for your guidance, wisdom, and support as we commence this City Commission meeting. Help us to engage in meaningful discussion, allow us to grow closer as a board, and nurture the bonds of this great community. Fill us with your grace, Lord God, as we make decisions that affect our community and our constituents in our city. Continue to remind us that all we do here today, all that we accomplish, is for the pursuit of truth, for the greater glory of you, and for the service of this community. We ask these things in your name. Amen.
Amen. We have presentations, recognition of the game of Texas, youth athletes. Denny. Oh, here we go.
Is there no space?
Everybody.
All right.
The whole team.
Gio. Team McAllen.
Let me get the coaches up here too.
What's up, Gio?
Yes.
You're the ones that didn't make it there. Yeah, brother.
Yes. Come on. Yeah, the little ones.
Can we have the smaller kids? Right here. Come on,
All right. Okay, we're good. So, Mayor, City Commissioners, City Management, thank you for this time today. I just want to take a moment to recognize all these kids up here and coaches. It was part of our TAF program, summer program. These kids here put the work in, and it ended up in the result going to the state games at College Station. So the Texas Amateur Athletic Federation, which is a nonprofit organization for amateur sports, competitions across Texas, including leagues, tournaments, and the annual summer games, which serve as a mini Olympics for athletes of all ages. TAF offers a variety of sports like track, swimming, tennis, and golf, giving McAllen athletes opportunities to compete regionally and at the state level while representing the city through Parks and Recreation. TAF is a key part of Parks and Recreation's mission to promote youth development, physical health, and community pride by providing competitive opportunities at regional and state levels. While TAF focuses on structured sports competition, the Parks and Recreation Department offers a broader range of inclusive programs, from recreational leagues and fitness classes to cultural events and family gatherings, while also maintaining safe, accessible public spaces for all residents to enjoy. In 2025, as you can see here, some of the participants, McAllen has 692 participants registered for a golf, track, swimming, and tennis program. Of these, 251 athletes qualified for the state games, which was held in College Station from July 31st to August 4th. At the state games, McAllen athletes brought home 33 medals in track, tennis, golf, and swimming. A lot of these athletes also PR'd at the state games, which is awesome because they're going against the best of the best in the state in their sport. I don't know if we have Layla here. Okay, she's training right now. But Layla set a new record in the 12U 1,600 meter race with a time of 5 minutes and 16 seconds, which is a new state record for 12U.
Yeah. All right.
I personally want to thank all the athletes, parents, and coaches for the unwavering dedication, hard work, and support throughout the season. If you're in track or swim or golf and tennis, you know the commitment made by the parents is a long-lasting one. I mean, they're out there 12, 13 hours a day with their kids. The athletes' commitment to training and competition is truly inspiring, and the encouragement from parents plays a vital role in their success. Our coaches' guidance, mentorship, and passion help shape not only skilled competitors, but also confident, disciplined individuals. Together, your efforts contribute to building a strong, vibrant community and bringing pride to the city of McAllen. We appreciate everything you do to make our program successful and look forward to many more seasons of growth and achievement. Go Team McAllen. And Mayor, on behalf of the team, we would like to present you with this Team McAllen jersey. So again, thank you everyone for coming out, and God bless. Up on stage? Okay. Hey guys, come back this way. Multiple.
Get in the middle, Mayor.
Yeah, come down here in the front. In front of the, yeah, get in front of the podium. Come over closer. Come on.
Gio! 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 Hurry up! Hurry up!
That's the only one we have? Okay, we got. Give him about 30 seconds. I should do it. Okay, next item, we have a public hearing.
Commissioners, good afternoon. Mayor, good afternoon. Okay, so items, we have the routine items. We have 1 through 24. Items 1, 2, and 3 were custom-initiated rezoning. Item number 1 is located at 6117 North Ware Road. It's the rear part of the property behind Mariposa Restaurant, and they are being rezoned from 2 different zones, from R1 and C3 to R3 to match the existing zone to the north. Item number 2 is located at 11600 North 29th Street, and it's being zoned from C3 to R1 so that the new one-lot subdivision can match. Item number 3 is located at 13931 North Ware Road. It's also the rear portion. It's zoned R3T, and they're going to rezone it to C2. They're requesting to rezone it to C2 to do commercial for storage area. Items 4 through 24, all city-initiated rezoning from R1 to R1, and then item number 13 is from R3C to R3, and those are items 4 through 24.
Okay, does anybody have any issues against any of these items? Anybody to speak against any of these items? Anybody to speak against any of these items?
Motion to approve.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Against? Motion carries. Next item.
Item B1 is a rezoning request. This property is located at 8,000 North Ware Road and is zoned C3 and R3A, and the customer is requesting to rezone the property to R2 medium density for townhome, where they're proposing townhomes. The property is down zoning for the townhomes, and we do have a neighborhood opposition of it was redone, it's at 8.6%. There was a discussion at the Planning and Zoning Commission of July the 22nd. There was concerns regarding privacy, traffic, noise, and drainage issues. After discussion, the board members unanimously voted to recommend approval of the R2 request. Yes, it does not meet the walkable community. However, it does have there is the new plazas out to the west on 29th and Trenton. So there's that is still walkable. So this project would encourage the development of 33rd Street, which would connect it to Trenton, and then you'll have that walkability as well. And then you also have the walkability to the baseball park.
And there are two people signed up to speak on this item.
Okay, anybody speak against these items? This item, yes.
If you could please state your name and address for the record.
Thank you. My name is Gloria Kepke. My address is 3605 Cornell Avenue. I and numerous residents of Ware Ridge Estate oppose the rezoning because the city has not demonstrated it can address ongoing flooding and flood-related issues. We've had numerous flooding events in the past, documented drainage backups and outdated stormwater capacity that it cannot reliably handle more runoff. Rezoning for a higher density without a solid flood control plan increases our risk and long-term public cost. While we recognize the city's need for housing and revenue, this project raises significant concerns with our neighborhood. The developers to the south say they built a ditch to prevent runoff from their lot. Well, the ditch is the same level as our subdivision, same elevation, with no surrounding border to hold water. So guess what? It's going to run off into our property. The current elevation of the lot raises significant concerns with the filled dirt draining into our alley and onto the division's drainage system when it occurs. It has already caused low drainage due to the runoff. Also, our subdivision has already incurred expenses from cleaning out half-filled drains full of mud from the south side. We have had the same issues with the north side, which they built multifamily apartments and condos. Their elevation is also higher than ours, which we don't oppose the elevation, but there has to be some city control of making sure that these developers have a solid flood control plan. They promised us a block fence. Of course, they went cheaper along the midway, and they built a cedar fence. Well, guess what? That's not holding. We're getting seepage from the north side, and we're afraid that's going to happen to us from the south side too. According to the U.S. Environmental Agency, even 10% increase of impervious cover can lead to a measurable increase in the flooding frequency and severity. So you can imagine what 4 feet will do from both sides, north and south. We have had, let me also include the experience that we had when the city built the ballpark park to the east of us. You build it without adequate drainage plans, and we flood it. And it took us, being flooded for y'all to rectify the situation. I'm asking for right now, let's have a good, solid flood plan prior to any decisions being made on the development to the south.
Thank you, ma'am.
May I go a little bit longer?
Mayor, can you have an additional
Yeah,
time?
go ahead,
please?
go ahead.
Thank you.
We urge the council to delay or deny rezoning until credible flood control plan is completed. Require independent hydrology studies and updated flood risk assessments. Provide details on how the storm water capacity, drainage systems, and water sewage infrastructure will accommodate the increased density. And we'd like to be included in the development of this flood plan, because I think we know the patterns, the flood patterns and drainage in that area more than any of our engineers. Thank you.
Anybody
Thank
else?
Hello, Lorena Ledesma, 3413 Cornell Avenue, McAllen. So I would like to formally petition the City of McAllen to review and reconsider the current zoning designation construction allowances for this site due to the elevation of approximately 4 feet above surrounding properties and the resulting risk of flooding. The elevation of the construction site has significantly altered the natural water runoff pattern in this area. As a direct neighbor, I am deeply concerned that this raised development may increase surface water flow onto my property and neighboring lots during periods of heavy rainfall, leading to potential flooding, erosion, and property damage. To date, no adequate mitigation measures such as proper drainage infrastructure or retention ponds appear to have been implemented to address this elevation discrepancy. The area is already prone to water accumulation, and the increased elevation may exacerbate existing drainage issues that were previously manageable. In light of these facts, I respectfully request the following. 1, that the City of McAllen conduct a thorough review of the grading, drainage, and elevation impact of the development in question. 2, that a temporary halt on further development be considered until proper stormwater management solutions are proposed and implemented. 3, that rezoning or modification of building permissions be evaluated to ensure compatibility with adjacent properties and environmental safety. I believe it is in the best interest of the city, as well as the residents, to ensure that all developments proceed in a manner that respects existing neighborhood conditions and minimizes the risk of damage due to poor planning or elevation changes. Thank you for your time and consideration of this petition.
Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.
Anybody else speak against the item? Anybody for the item? Yes, sir.
Good afternoon, everyone. Donaldo Rodriguez, RJC Development Group. I'm the engineer for the proposed project. And I just want to state that the concerns from the residents on the north subdivision, they're valid concerns, right? But we're doing everything within city ordinances and standards to try to mitigate all their concerns. We're actually zoning down from commercial and multifamily. We're zoning down to townhomes. So that's a plus in this case. And as well, I would also like to highlight that there's an upcoming 33rd Street improvement, which that will address some of the drainage concerns in the area, as well as Ware Road, which is a TxDOT roadway, eventually will be developed as well, so improved. So realistically, I mean, I don't know if there's any other questions that you guys may have.
Does anybody have any questions?
Mayor, I just want to bring, and maybe for the edification of the other members of the board, yourself having been District 1 Commissioner at some point, current Commissioner Tony Aguirre, now myself being Commissioner, this subdivision, Ware Ridge Estates, I can't find a better word, but has literally been plagued with the amount of rainfall that comes into that neighborhood, and obviously through the stormwater drainage system meeting at and over capacity. I don't want to say that this subdivision is in a bowl. However, when the elevations of the subdivision to the north and to the south certainly compounds the problem. This is a very nice neighborhood. These are $300,000 to $400,000 homes, and you have water reaching up to almost the thresholds. This neighborhood has been very in constant contact with all the commissioners, well, certainly Mayor Villalobos and current Commissioner Aguirre, as well as myself. They're valid concerns, just as you admitted. One of the problems or issues that was brought up recently in the last 3 months on the most recent rainfall event was the fact that the soil was compacted right up to and touching the fences, where on the east line of the subdivision, there was maybe a 6 to 8 inch offset, but as you walk west, it gets high as 2 to 3 feet.
Right.
And it basically, I mean, lack for a better word, and I'm not an engineer, it creates a dike, which as the young lady, Ms. Lorena, stated, it inhibits and prevents the natural flow of water from the west to east. Right? And I'm very familiar with that area. That southeast corner of that baseball park is probably the lowest area within a quarter of a mile of those neighborhoods in that area. I can't, in good conscience, recommend, and even though the zoning is less intense, because the more impervious cover, meaning asphalt and concrete, the more water you have to move, right? By downgrading or making a less intense use, like your R2 duplex, you're allowing for grass, right, to allow and absorb that. I mean, I'm cognizant of that. But, you know, we're aware of these issues, and I hope that the neighbors understand that if, in the event that this rezoning would be approved, that there is a subdivision process to this, that naturally there are going to be some requirements, understanding that, you know, any additional development is going to exacerbate the problem when it comes to stormwater drainage in that neighborhood. You know, one of the things that I looked at, and I know you've done some remedial measures, is to create a swale. But as Lori had stated, you know, that swale is the same elevation of the alley. It's really not moving water away. If anything, it's just ponding there.
Right. Well,
and I'll finish, and I'll let you speak. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you, but let me just finish. And so that's one measure, right? And I know on the north side, which has nothing to do with your project, but it's a compound effect, right? So I hope you can understand. And by the way, both of the residents were very articulate because I couldn't say it any better, right? And these are homes that they've invested their lives in, their families in, their communities in, and we as a city have a responsibility to be sure that their property and their livelihoods are being protected. And certainly, commissioners on this board, that we're being advocates for them. You know, for us three that are up here are very well aware of this project. We want your project to succeed, but not at the expense of a neighborhood who's been there for almost 20 years, right? So for those reasons, Mayor, for the Board of Commissioners, I can't get in good conscience proceed to rezoning this matter.
Commissioner, but I could get a little confused. Wouldn't it be more beneficial to the Ware Ridge Estates to do something that will create less? Because if they do what right now it's commercial. If they construct, if they do all that type of stuff, if it's correct what they're saying, they're in more trouble. There'll be more of a risk.
Correct.
That's where
More asphalt, more parking. and that's
Commercial has a greater C value.
correct, and that's so and that's why to the residents, believe me, I'm very familiar. I remember I met with the people. I lost friends because of Ware Ridge, everything. We spent a lot of money on that. Which was Michelle?
The Northwest Blue Line regrade.
That's right.
And that really helped. I know once the street goes, it's gonna help a lot more. But if we were to leave it the way it is, I think it would affect the residents detrimentally. If they go put more asphalt, if they go put buildings, if they go put all that, I think it's gonna be more detrimental. And I don't know if you all quite understand that.
Yeah, I think that kind of in between, I was torn as well, because by denying a rezoning request, and this is for the neighbors, by denying a rezoning request, it doesn't mean the land cannot get developed. If they provide a development that is conforming to city code, the existing zoning will allow significantly more density and a heavier development on that property. I actually read the down zoning as a positive to sort of complement the area and its problems. The issue with the water would be better addressed with engineering during the subdivision process. That is when the plan for water and how it moves and where it's retained
And detention ponds.
is primarily developed. So I would just see that by denying the rezoning request, my concern is that it would have to pivot the developer to utilize it in its existing form or zoning, which is actually more impactful, more density, and could be even harder to mitigate some of the water concerns.
Right. And I'm sorry, you were going to say something.
Yeah, I just wanted to touch up on the grading of the actual property, the current, well, the existing conditions, right? Prior to the existing conditions, we got hired by our client and we went ahead and did a grading plan, right? I don't know if the current situation is as per our grading plan, right? We would have to go out there and take some shots and see if that swell is actually performing as intended, right, to mitigate the issue. But for now, right? But once we develop the actual property, the goal is to grade everything inwards, right, away from that subdivision. That way we don't have any runoff going into their subdivision. That and any proper subdivision process, that doesn't occur, right? You don't have runoff from this property going into that property. So we're aware of that, as well as like you mentioned. I mean, we're gonna, if we leave it as the way it currently is, there's gonna be a lot of impervious area with the commercial development, right? Burlington or any big commercial type retail store can develop there, and then you're gonna have increased impervious area, which is only gonna make it worse, right? So I just wanted to state those two things, and I don't know if you have.
Yeah, I have another one. We had a pre-development meeting with the planning, right, and engineering department as well. And as part of the subdivision, we're already taking into consideration retaining walls and, right, based on the difference of elevation, how they mentioned, right. So with the retaining wall, it's going to help out any erosion, and also for El Tigre as well, which is for us is
So
on
generally, they'll still be coming in.
Right.
Correct.
We're gonna all that runoff will be detained on site through the system and on that project and discharged at the pre-developed rate, which is only gonna help the entire area.
Plus, it's this land is the last section for 33rd Street to connect.
Correct.
So that's going to help out the drainage on all 33rd Street. So, and I believe next year, Ware Road's is planning to be developed by TxDOT, right? As per the plans. So there is a improvement in drainage.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Ladies.
I was calling, but
Do you all understand why I think the majority of the commission believes that you all are better off if this happens? You all understand, or you don't quite get it?
We understand. We just are not involved in the planning stage. We don't know what they're, what's going on. We'd like to be involved, to be informed. The north side, changed their plans midway, and we're suffering from them. We don't want the same thing happening to us on the south
on the
side.
south side.
Fair.
Yeah, and Mayor, the other thing, and I don't want to, well, when they graded that property to the south, and I'm not sure, they can come back and address this here in a moment, it created essentially a dike. And there was a tremendous amount of runoff that's been documented through pictures from Ms. Gloria, pictures from Ms. Lorena, and pictures from myself. And it's a muddy mess of Caliche.
Yes.
And hang on, I'll finish. I'm sorry, Mayor.
Go for it.
I'm sorry to interrupt you. But all that silt, all that sand goes into the very drainage system that's supposed to protect their properties
Yes.
from flooding.
Our drains were
and
filled
it
up
failed.
that much.
And I also know that this area we're talking about was kind of the detention area for all the neighborhoods, because that's where the water was going.
Yeah.
I mean, there's no question about it. Once it got filled, we're gonna have issues, it has to go somewhere. But if it's developed and developed properly, then, and, I'm proud to say that generally we do a very good job. Sometimes we're a little behind. We spent a lot of money there on Blue Ridge or whatever it was, and it helped. I was there 4 or 5 months ago. I remember the water going up, and fortunately it never did. Believe me, I get the calls. I still get the calls, and I still go. Because I remember 2018 and 2020. I remember. and you all are doing better, but I do understand your concerns.
Yes.
But I think your concerns will be alleviated more, or
With lower
should be
den-
less
lower
with
density.
lower density. Because right now they can go put a Ross store. Good luck. Guess what's going to happen?
Okay, can we be involved so we can provide input in the planning process?
I don't know. I mean, it's it's a private development. If you want to talk, if they want to speak with you regarding the issue, but that is not us.
Well, but the city
The engineering department.
The engineering
department
Oh, yeah, you can talk
definitely
to
needs to.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah,
They can reach out to the engineering department at
Yeah, you
any
can reach
time
out
and ask for updates.
And ladies, Ms.
It's
Gloria, Ms.
public
Lorena,
information.
I don't think I've had the pleasure of meeting you. Ms. Gloria, you have my phone number. I'm making a public promise to you that on this specific project, I'm going to be following Mr. Sotelo through the subdivision process and Mr. Mendoza on the plating process.
I mean, we know what works and doesn't work.
Right, because we've talked about, creating a concrete wall, something to block the water, and so these are I'm an elephant. An elephant doesn't forget. I'm going to remember this conversation. I'm sure you will too. I mean, I'm kind of tongue in cheek there, but it is what it is. That's how we remember things, and that's the kind of questions I'm going to go back, a couple of months to Mr. Sotelo and Mr. Mendoza, and they both know me very, very well about how I ask questions.
Awesome.
And so, if anything, I will be the conduit, to make sure that the flow of information coming to you, obviously, if there's something that I see that is a concern, I'll be the first to speak to them about that, and obviously, you'll be the very
Thank
next
you very
person.
much.
You have my commitment
Yes.
on that, ma'am.
But we
We're
truly
not
believe the
complete
downzoning,
objection to the development of that property.
the
Yes, ma'am.
downzoning should add a layer of protection, and I think engineering gets the message on during the subdivision process to be well aware of how the entire area is affected. I think the current owners, developers have heard the message, and Commissioner Zamora is obviously
Well, we
definitely.
just need to build 33rd Street.
Right.
okay?
Well, that too.
And
When
33rd
we
Street
build
will help out a
33rd
lot.
Street and have all the adequate gutter and sewer and everything that will flow white, it'll flow to your detention areas, and that whole area will get to Ware Road and it'll go.
It's gonna be a lot better, definitely.
Okay.
And the fact to
We're-
develop
we're almost
that,
there.
to develop that section is gonna help the drainage
Yes.
as itself, and then the reduction of, like Commissioner Haddad said, the reduction of that to R2 is a lot better and protects the neighborhood a lot more, by far. So.
Mr. Mendoza.
You'll be fine.
I'm sorry to interrupt. Sorry,
Go
Commissioner.
ahead.
I'm sorry.
Some years ago, there was a project that ran from Trenton up the proposed 33rd Street to increase the size of the reinforced concrete. Is that correct?
Yeah, so we put in some boxes that went into a 60, it starts getting smaller as you go to the ditch to the west. It's also interconnected to the east, the boxes, and then went into pipe, and then it's interconnected to the west as well. We've also done some backflow preventers on the system. We have 33rd Street coming up with this. What I would say, and I think the mayor and a lot of the commissioners have the point, the downzoning helps because that gives us more impervious area. Most time when you do commercial, they're gonna try to maximize to our standard. And in residential, they tend to, or this would be an R2, tend to put a little more green space, which will have less of an impact on runoff. In addition to that, we've already engaged the engineer prior to in a pre-development meeting, have expressed our concerns that we've had through public meetings with Ms. Kepke, yourself, Commissioner Michelle, and advise them of the issues that are already there. We've already talked to them about the elevation differences, and as you can tell, they're already looking to address that through their subdivision. Our doors are open, they can come see the plans, you would do a public information if you want hard copies, but the conversation, as always, our doors are open. We know this is a challenged area. The city, the commissioners here are committed to making that as best as we can through engineering. We're gonna address that through this development. As any development, if it was commercial, we'd still have to mitigate this, and that would be the worst case scenario. But nonetheless, we would talk about the elevation difference, about the drainage, and the impacts that have already been out there through the other developments, and have them look into that.
Thank you, Mr. Mendoza, I appreciate it.
Thank you.
I think Lorena had a concern.
So another concern is that the townhomes are supposed to be two-story. So had I
That's a
known,
totally different story.
Yeah.
But just quick on that, a single family can be 2-story as well. So
I know, but
so
I had
privacy
a
is not
choice of
expected.
moving there prior knowing that there wasn't any two-story, you know?
Right, but-
And if I would have known, I would have never moved
A
there.
single family can be also 2-story. That's what I'm
I
trying to
have
say.
a
It's the
two-story
same
home.
thing.
in
Yeah.
the
Oh, there you go.
neighborhood, So, I mean.
That wouldn't change
Yeah.
the thing.
Privacy's
It
not an
wasn't-
issue. Thank you.
No, thank
we
you.
thank
Thank you.
Thank you for your concerns. Anybody else on either side?
I
Okay.
make a motion to approve.
Second.
All in favor? Against?
Aye.
Motion carries. Next item.
Item C1 is a conditional use permit at 4612 Buddy Owens Boulevard and is Zone C4. The conditional use permit is for an electrical substation. The electrical substation will require an 8-foot masonry wall along the north side and the west side and will be placed about, the electrical substation will be placed about 150 feet west of the, well, east of the masonry wall, and which pushes it away from the residential zone. The pad is approximately 232 feet by 246 feet. The other electrical substation that we have is on North 23rd and Buddy Owens. This one's 160 feet away from the residential zone and does not have the 8-foot masonry wall on either side. So it has commercial and as a buffer, but it doesn't have the 8-foot masonry wall. We do have 8 other structures, 8 other electrical substations in McAllen. So the one on Buddy Owens measures 325 feet by 283 feet. So this one is smaller. The other existing electrical substations that we have all vary from distances from the residential zone. We have some as close as 60 feet, others 160, 500 feet, 237 feet, so they all vary. At the Planning and Zoning Commission meeting of July the 22nd, we had residents in opposition for this request regarding the health concerns and other objections. Of course, we did get the opposition petition submitted, and it's at 32.5%. After the discussion, the board voted to recommend approval of the conditional use permit for life of the use.
Okay.
And that's why it's here.
Anybody speak against this item? Yes.
Come forward.
So you do have in your packet, I saw that.
Yeah.
Yes.
We have it. Thank you.
Hello. Oh,
Hi.
sorry, I broke it. It's okay, y'all can take it out of my taxes. So my name is Lupita Valentin. I live at 4601 North 47th Street, and these are my neighbors that we all signed the petition against this substation. And actually, my son would like to give this speech as to why we're opposing this.
Certainly.
Just state your name, son.
Yeah, just so you
My name is Eric Valentin. I live at 4601 North 47th. Hello, commissioners and mayor. My name is Eric Valentin. I'm 15 years old. Before I begin, I hope my age doesn't cause you to dismiss anything I say today. I'm coming to you all as a resident of the Meadow Ridge neighborhood, here to discuss my concerns with AEP's plan for constructing a substation within my neighborhood and why I believe that the city of McAllen should not allow for this structure to be constructed. Now, before I offer any critiques of the substation being built, let me first go on the record stating what the substation does. First of all, electrical substations change voltage levels, sometimes up but normally down, so electricity can be sent through local power lines. They also control the flow of the power to help with maintenance and outages. Now, these are all great things for our local community, but they come at a cost to those who live close to them. For starters, one of my concerns is with the health and safety of a substation being built right next to our neighborhood. It's known that these substations give off noise pollution, and noise pollution can cause a multitude of mental health issues such as sleep disruption, which is a huge issue as more than likely this station will run through the night when many of us will be sleeping. A constant disruption to sleep caused by the proximity of this station can lead to an increase in blood pressure, insomnia, stress, and anxiety. Another fact is these stations, while unlikely to, can explode or catch fire, like in Fort Worth, where a transformer exploded in January of this year. In that incident, there were evacuations, but no injuries and no property damage, thanks to the substation being a safe distance away from homes. Now, let's say the city allows AEP to continue with their plan to construct this substation embedded in our neighborhood. And then, like in Fort Worth, there's a fire or explosion caused by an incident at this station. Due to its close proximity to our neighborhood, me, my neighbors, friends could lose more than just money. Our lives could be ruined. And I doubt AEP would reimburse every victim for the emotional or financial loss. And I also doubt that this is a risk that the city of McAllen wishes to take. Another concern is the loss in property value. Substations, like the one planned, have been shown to lower nearby property values by 5 to 20% just by being there. Not only because of the health risks, it's the nasty industrial look that makes people not want to live near one. What does this mean? It means my family and every family in Meadow Ridge that is near this station could lose thousands, possibly tens of thousands, in the value of the homes they've all worked so hard to build. That's simply not right. Speaking of not right, even AEP knows this isn't right, because after the Planning and Zoning meeting on July 22nd, Daniel Lucio, manager of external affairs for AEP, told my mom, quote, "I understand where you're coming from. I wouldn't want one built behind my house either," end quote. That's their own representative admitting this wouldn't feel right if it was near his home, which is exactly what you guys allowing them to build it will do. If that doesn't say enough, I don't know what does. Could I keep going?
Mayor.
Go ahead.
Thank you, Mayor.
Now, AEP can make the argument this is the only place for a substation, and that there are others like the one planned in similar locations. But if they were to do this, they would simply be lying. As with a quick search on Google Maps, we could see that there are 6 stations within a 5-mile radius of where the one planned will be located, and 3 of them are within a 3-mile radius. While I'm not an expert, that sure seems like a lot of substations in one area, especially when there's very few spread out throughout the east side of McAllen, as we saw on your map earlier. And not only that, all of these substations that I have these images of substations, and many of them are not, or all of them are not embedded in neighborhoods. They're close, but a lot of them are still a good bit away from neighborhoods. And finally, in one of the past planning and zoning meetings, AEP said that they needed to build the station under/adjacent to transmission lines, which in theory makes sense based on what we know about substations, but is simply not the case, as many examples of substations in and around McAllen are connected to the transmission lines by constructed transmission lines that are specifically used for that station. So what's stopping AEP from building this elsewhere? Nothing besides cost and a poorly thought out, unethical plan. So please do the right thing. I'm not saying AEP should trash all plans for building a substation. It is critical to aid our electrical grid for upcoming winters. All I'm asking is that it not be built next to our homes where it will affect our health, our finances, and our peace of mind, especially when it's not a sacrifice that has to be made. Thank you for your time.
Okay, excellent. You know, young man, I wish I were as intelligent as you when I was 15.
Me too.
That was very good. Anyway, is there anything different? Because this is a large group. Anything different that y'all need to add other than what he has said? Pues claro que sí.
Claro, señora. Su nombre y su dirección de
Y
ubicación.
W, y yo compré la propiedad de la casa muestra que está la torre en mi terreno de ahí, o sea, ahí, ¿verdad? Nunca pensé que eso fuera a causar daños. Más sin embargo, tengo el antecedente de alguien que durmió en el cuarto más cercano a la torre y le dio cáncer. Y puedo pensar que fue esa la razón, ¿verdad? Y otra cosa que he observado es que había 3 palmas, ¿verdad?, cerca de la torre, y ya una se murió, la otra ya también, y nada más queda una de las 3 torres, ¿verdad?, de las 3 palmas. Entonces no sé si también le está afectando, ¿verdad?, lo poco que hay en esa torre, ¿verdad? Ahora, si ponen una planta, pues creo que va a ser más la magnitud del daño, ¿verdad? Entonces, pues estoy de acuerdo en oponernos en esa construcción, ¿verdad?, de autorizar, de dar permiso para tomar más riesgos. No, ya no, o sea, ya es suficiente.
Thank you, ma'am. Anybody else with anything different? No. Okay, do we have the
Proponent?
the proponent?
The applicant?
Applicant?
Can you say it for me, please? He's really good. Good afternoon, Mayor. Good afternoon, City Councilman. This is Rick Garcia, and for the record, my name is Daniel Lucio, External Affairs Manager for AEP Texas.
Okay.
And this is Rick Garcia, he's our asset planner, and Nate Chamberlain, he's our engineer for the project. I want to start by saying that the Buddy Owens Electric Substation is a very important project for all of McAllen. It will play a crucial role in supporting the continued growth that we're experiencing here in McAllen. It will help reduce outages by allowing us to do more switching and transfer power where the demand is needed. We here at AEP Texas are in a very unique situation in terms of growth. We are seeing growth like we've never seen before. To put things in perspective, our AEP Texas footprint has been growing at a very fast rate. Between 2011 and 2021, we were growing at about 50 megawatts. Between 22 and 23, we are now growing at a rate of 550 megawatts per year. Last year, we grew at 600 megawatts. We have just experienced 35 years and 3 years of growth. We now serve 1.1 million customers, again, in our AEP Texas footprint. We serve most of South Texas, the coastal bend up to Bay City near Houston. We also serve pockets in West Texas, as well as Laredo, Uvalde, and Del Rio. Each month, we receive a customer meter count report for all of AEP Texas. The Rio Grande Valley now has 6 cities on the top 10 list. Keeping up with this growth, as you can imagine, is challenging. We are actively acquiring property in South McAllen for 2 more substations to meet this demand. One will be built in District 4 and the other in District 2. We are also working further north as McAllen looks to expand there. As I mentioned, Rick Garcia is our asset planner. He works with our real estate department to look for possible sites to build these substations. They have a very difficult task when it comes to site selection. The first, they have to work in the general area where the demand is. These substations are strategically located for a reason. The circuits that branch out from these substations perform best when they are shorter. Those at the end of these circuits typically do not receive the same quality of voltage as those closer to them. So now Rick and his team must find parcels of land that are located underneath or very close to these transmission lines. Transmission lines are not the same as the distribution lines that you see on the road. These substations are used to step down the voltage that can be used to power residential and commercial customers. So I just mentioned 2 important but crucial components that make up the substation. We now must find a property owner that is willing to sell. This lessens the number of sites that are available to us. The Buddy Owens property seems ideal for everyone because it is an odd-shaped lot and it is hidden from public view. I appreciate, respect, and understand the residents opposing this development. After the planning and zoning meeting a few weeks ago, I visited with some of the family members to put them at ease. We received our approval, and I didn't have to do this, but I saw the concerns in their eyes. I told them that I understood where they were coming from, and that I too wouldn't want one being built next to me if I didn't have the information that I'm sharing with you today. I provided them with my business card, which includes my cell number. This is not the first time that I have done this. I did so because I have all the faith that we will build a safe and secure substation. One that will not only benefit the residents to the west of this substation, but districts 1, 2, and portions of District 5. These districts should see a reduction of outages after Buddy Owens is in operation. When I gave my business card to these residents, I told them that I wanted to sit down with them to show them the layout of the property. As you can see, there is a buffer between the substation and the houses. We will construct a 8-foot masonry fence all along the west side of the property. There's a drainage pond that will sit between the property line and the substation. It is not uncommon for us to build these substations near residential neighborhoods. Down south near the convention center off 29th Street, we have a substation adjacent to a trailer park and across the street from a residential neighborhood. There's another substation at the corner of Buddy Owens and 23rd Street. This substation is 127 feet from a residential neighborhood, and the new Buddy Owens substation will have approximately 151 feet between the resident property line and the substation structures. AB Texas places high priority on safety. We begin every internal meeting with a safety briefing. Our main priority for our employees, as well as the communities that we serve, is safety. One of the concerns expressed by the residents was cancer. We have many substation operators throughout our service area who have retired after many years of service. These employees service and maintain these substations each and every day. They enter these premises with only fire retardant clothing. They do not require any special kind of shielding or vests. The noise concern was also brought up. The noise coming from substations have been described as a soft humming noise or comparable to that of road noise that a rubber tire makes as it is driven down a street. Our substations are equipped with fault detections, meaning it will shut itself down if it detects a surge, much like the breaker panel does at your house. I really hope that this information will put everyone at ease so we can continue to serve this great city and allow it to prosper. I would like to add that resident Lupita Valentin has reached out to me via email to ask if I would be willing to meet with her and possibly with the other residents to discuss the details of the project. I sent her the drawings of the substation layout, for which she was extremely grateful. I look forward to working with them prior, during, and after the construction of this project. Thank you.
Thanks, sir. You know, it kind of seems like something similar to what we just had in the previous
I was gonna
item.
say, yeah.
Kind of similar to the previous item, that sometimes it may be more beneficial when you think it may not. But me as a resident, I kind of agree that I really don't want something. I would like for it to look nice, to block views where if I'm in my backyard, I don't want to see all that type of stuff. What can we do to ameliorate that?
Sorry, what was the question?
You know, what could we do to kind of?
It's an interesting question because, you know, as a city, you don't, I mean, so we have a hard time finding these locations, right? Because obviously, you know, we know we're going to get some opposition if we do it near a residential area. However, oftentimes as a city, well, you know, you think about your tax base. You know, you want to, you know, you'd rather see, you know, a retailer.
No, but we also know that we need electricity and we need it reliable. In some areas, it's not as reliable as we would like, and I know that some of this will help out. So it's
Exactly.
That's where we have to.
And you know, like I said, you know, we put a lot of thought into these, you know, the locations because, you know, they, you know, like I said, these branch out, these circuits branch out, and they can only go so far, so they have to be placed strategically. You know what I'm saying? And so when we're working, that's what I was trying. The point I was trying to make is when we're working with this general area, within that area, we have to work around, you know, these property owners who, often we're just talking about this, how, you know, these people, some of these property owners, well, they want to sell us the entire property. All we want is a little parcel, you know, and so we have to answer to our ratepayers. So, you know, how do you justify purchasing all this, you know, acreage when all you need is 4 to 5?
So, another substation that we built, we did add forestry beautification.
That's what I'm talking about.
We can add certain oak trees or certain types of trees. All the distribution lines are going to be underground, so that's not going to be obstruction of view for the surrounding area. We can add trees to kind of block out the view as well.
Yeah, because I think that's very important, because I think whether we like it or not, I think it's needed. I think when this location, different locations to the south, I know we need, but a lot of the times the concern is that, how will it look? If you're in your backyard, do you want to be seeing that? And the answer is probably not, and that's what I'm talking about, what could possibly be done. And I think that's something that hopefully y'all can address also with the residents.
Oh, yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's why I offered my business card. I want to hear from them. I want to know what, you know, even along the way,
Yes,
during
sir.
construction.
Sorry, sir, if we can have your name and address and speak into the microphone for the record, thank you. Sorry to
No
interrupt.
problem.
My name is Jorge Hernandez.
Can you please approach the microphone,
Can you get a
sir?
little closer, sir?
Yeah,
There
my
you
name
go.
is Jorge Hernandez. I live in the neighborhood 4803 North 47 Lane, and I understand the concern, but the really concern is the health. There, like they say, there's a plant on 23rd and Mayo 3, even a mile. What is less than a mile? Less than a mile. So taking consideration that
That would be
you
the
know,
second one on 3 Mile Line.
we worry. I had 3 kids.
That would be the second one, 3 Mile Line.
And I'm very worried. And I don't know who approved this project. Is the person who approved this project here in the?
It's not approved.
Oh, it's not approved yet.
No, no.
Okay.
That's why we're discussing.
Okay.
Yeah.
But yeah, well, we need to. Whoever's going to approve it, I mean, we need to discuss the health issues, not how it looks like, because that's the main concern. I'm very worried about my kids too and my health. And like I said, we already have one on Mayo 3 and 23rd.
So the biggest concern is the health issue?
Yes, of course.
This is also the second substation that would be placed in District 3.
Right.
There's 3 substations. There's one on Pecan and Ware Road that was newly built maybe about a year ago. And then the one on 23rd and Buddy Owens. Those are not embedded into the neighborhood. Like if you see where they want to build it, it is nestled in our neighborhood and those businesses in front. So why does it have to be there where the access is so limited? If something were to happen to that substation, even though you're asking us to trust them with that retention or that pond that they want to build, it's like, how are we going to know that they're going to maintain it? But if something were to happen, those businesses in the front, they're all mechanic shops. There's a bunch of cars, compression machines.
A lot of
If they
contamination
were-
too.
Right, if it were to explode, guess what's going to happen? Our neighborhood's going to be gone because of those businesses.
Which there was an incident at the beginning of the year.
Yes, actually during New Year's there was an incident. Firework, I guess, blew up a car from one of the mechanic shops on New Year's Eve. It was pretty.
See, but
close
we
to
get
a
into the issues that happen even without this.
I know, but why
Or
are we
not
gonna
matching?
put that there to give us even an issue is to do that? That's the issue.
Gentlemen?
Mayor, I so move to disapprove.
Wow.
Second.
There's other locations.
Discuss it.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't know, he said he had reached out to the residents. If there's a primary concern about health,
I mean,
of
I
course,
understand that we-
it's always health and safety. I mean, that's the number one priority with anything that I think we look at doing. If there's a possibility that AEP can still get together with the residents,
No, that's not gonna help. That's not gonna make us feel any better. It's not, there are plenty of empty lots throughout McAllen.
well,
where it
they're
could be built.
understood there's plenty of empty lots, but they can't just put it on any empty
I
lot.
understand
That's
that,
the
but they
difficulty.
built those transition lines on the one on Pecan to accommodate, because there is no transition lines down on the one on
So
Pecan.
a question to
Those
AEP,
transition lines
what?
to attach to the regular power lines. They
Hold on.
don't
Let me ask AEP a question related to the site. When you guys were looking for this substation specifically, right? What other options did you look at? Why was this one selected maybe over the others? What other possibilities are there? How far away from, I guess, this existing transmission can you be?
Understood. And with the existing transmission line, it makes the process go a little quicker. The other locations that we looked at were on Buddy Owens and Ware Road, kind of by where Wing Daddies is and Jiffy Lube. Our real estate department approached the property owner. They did not want to sell us that property, so we did not pursue that area. We also looked at the corner of 41st Street and Buddy Owens. It's a big lot that's available. We would have asked the property owner to subdivide it, but we were denied, and he wanted us to buy the entire lot, but we didn't pursue that either. And then we found this lot, and we found a willing landowner who put us behind his other property, behind those mechanic shops, with the transmission line. As far as the one on Pecan, yes, we did build a transmission line to there. It was a 100-foot access easement granted by the landowner. I believe it's Mr. Wilkins, and that's all his property. So we built the the line from Ware Road to the substation, I believe it was only about less than 0.1 mile to there. And right now, if we have to look for the property to build a transmission line, we would have to either condemnation or get easements from the surrounding landowners, wherever we need to go. That's one of the issues that we are placed with, or we have when extending our transmission line.
I'm going to make an assumption. Ideally, you'd like this substation to be on the north side of 3 Mile Line, right?
Yes.
So that already limits-
We did look at the property on the south. It was not big enough. We need a minimum of
The
200.
corner of Benson and Buddy Owens.
Yeah, northeast corner.
That's a large tract.
Right.
Next to the automotive shop.
And there's no residents there.
It's right next to the irrigation canal. But where the intersection is of Benson
There's
and
no
Buddy
houses.
Owens,
I need to.
Yeah, that
on
would
the
be an
northeast
option.
corner, it's an empty lot. You can look on Google, you can pull out your
Mm-hmm.
smartphone and look at it right now. And then to the north side, there's an automotive shop. It's not even maybe 200 feet from the intersection.
Yes, I believe our real estate agent is not here currently, so I did mention that property as well, but I do not understand or why we didn't go that route.
Okay.
So we did look into it, yes. So I do apologize that I didn't mention that one, but I did bring that up to his attention.
I so move to disapprove, Mayor.
Okay.
Once
There's a
again,
motion and a
we have
There's a motion and a second.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All against? Motion carries. Okay.
Ms. Valentin, I'm very proud of you for bringing your neighborhood here. I'm almost in tears. Congratulations, you did the best. You have a career in the legal field, sir.
Ándale.
Al contrario, señor, aquí para servir.
Ándale.
How you doing?
Okay. Rezoning connection.
Thank you for coming out. I'm very proud of you.
We've got to move on with this meeting.
Al contrario, gracias a usted por servir.
I went to go see it.
We try to do the right
I'm the
thing.
commissioner.
Yes.
Consider, I'm Tony Ozark, I live in the area, this area. Should consider zoning for these substations away from residential.
Yes.
areas.
You're right.
Take some forecasting, but you're
Well, I
correct.
mean,
You're right.
half a mile at least.
Thank you.
Okay. Rezoning conditional use.
Amending?
Where are we at?
Amending?
Item in the, I need a motion to amend zoning ordinance of the city of McAllen.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Against? Motion carries. Consent agenda, items A through H. Do we need to pull anything out?
Move to approve H.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Against? Motion carries. Item 3.
Okay, 3A is consideration and approval of change order number 2 and final for the Jackson Hike and Bike Trail Phase 2.
Mayor and Commission, we're bringing the change order number 2 and final for the Jackson Hike and Bike Trail. As you know, the existing fuel geometries encountered during construction triggered various modifications to the ramps and driveway configuration, resulted in a net deduction for the
Net
contract amount.
deduction. There's a motion to approve.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Against? Motion carries. You should have started there. Item B.
Item B is consideration and authorization to negotiate fees with the top-ranked contractor for the design and construction of artificial turf practice putting and chipping greens.
We had 3 people submit proposals. We had one that significantly ranked higher. Staff recommends authorization to negotiate fees with the top-ranked contractor, Easyscape LLC of McAllen, Texas. If negotiations are unsuccessful, staff will cease negotiations, and with the city manager's approval, initiate negotiations with the next highest-ranked firm, and we seek approval to
Motion to approve.
negotiate.
All in favor?
Aye.
Against? Motion carries. Manager's report.
Okay, item 4A is consideration and approval of an engagement letter from Weaver and Tidwell LLP for the annual audit ending September 30th, 2025.
There's a motion to approve.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye. Didn't even give you a chance.
Motion carries. Future agenda items.
Mayor, I think at the last meeting, we talked about the future City Hall?
City Hall, yes,
But that's coming
it'll be
down.
on the
Yeah,
agenda,
in
the
the
next,
workshop.
on
Okay,
September.
table item, do we want to pull it or?
No,
not
sir,
yet?
that'll remain on the table.
Okay, we have no executive session items. There being no further business, this meeting is adjourned.
Thank you, Mayor.
Thank y'all so much.
Regular City Commission meetings are held on the second and fourth Monday of each month. Meetings are rebroadcast on Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Saturdays on the McAllen Cable Network.
Get competitive from local vendors.
Moving on, Mr. Williams, we've got item 3B, consideration and approval of a professional services contract with Envision Water on an exploratory brackish groundwater data collection project. Carlos Gonzalez, our utility engineer, is here to present.
Good afternoon, board members.
Hello, Carlos.
Staff recommends